Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan.
What?
Gotta get that recap.
Hello, and welcome back. Today we will be discussing episode 32 of the Dice League campaign, From the Flames. So we start this episode dying. Just dying. Straight up dying, dude. 4 of us are making death saves, leaving Gideon and Elwyn as the only 2 scrambling to get everybody out. Also, the building's on fire. Elwyn manages to get Nell, Drac, and Azaria up, and Gideon goes to get Abe, who's currently trapped under some rubble. Gideon tries to lift, but to no avail, as his strength score is a measly 8. But, luckily for Gideon and everybody else, Abe rolled a natural 20 on his death save, so he pushes the debris off of himself, stands up, and we get the hell out of Dodge. To keep it short, we live, bitch. This natural 20 might be one of the coolest moments of this campaign. So, we all escaped what might be one of the most stressful encounters that I've ever been a part of. Hey, Dice League gang, this is for you. You're all so dang good at D&D and role-playing. After we escaped the building, the Malege, which is the magical law enforcement body of the city of Brulbar, they inform us that we have been summoned for a meeting with the Learned Circle, aka Brulbar's ruling political elite. They found out what happened. They know that the building exploded. We're going to court. We're going to trial. We need to say what the hell's going on. So we get back to the Wanderlust Inn and we begin to look into the documents that Elwyn swiped from the building just before it exploded. We find amongst them a picture of Abe surrounded by 5 mysterious figures who are, it's us. Oh boy. It looks like Malden's followers have been provided with a visual of what Abe looks like, probably through some sort of a vision of some kind, I don't know. After that discovery, we all rest, and Nell actually sleeps normally instead of trancing for the first time in I don't even know how long. Being an elf, you probably don't sleep very often. Usually trancing is much more efficient and probably feels better. Azaria gives Elwyn that letter we got from her nephew, Valoon, the Justicar, and she reads it, but she keeps it to herself. We wake up the next day and go to our trial. Abe speaks on behalf of us during the trial, as Nell, our usual face and best sort of converser in the party, is exhausted. She was suffering 2 to 3 levels of exhaustion. The trial goes exceptionally well, and by that, I mean we're not in jail. Also, we learned that Charity Cozybug, the High Arcanist of Brulbar, is definitely in our corner. She showed up to the trial with Shandier Tarset, the Shandier who was previously very uninterested in talking with the party, to say that they both in fact had our back. Speaking of Tarset, we'll get back to that in a minute. But let's dive into the trial real quick and talk about the Learned. So, the Learned, there are 6 members, and they are as follows. Felina Grads, human woman with dark complexion, wearing scientific attire. Dream Junet, a tabaxi woman with a very tight collar that poofs her fur out around her neck. Baldane Talbrack, a dwarven man who is the former Armordon of the Arturian Knights, the Armordon being the sort of leader of the Arturian Knights. Gath Pollenbay, a blue-haired gnome with all of his hair and beard cut and shaped in the shape of a lion's mane, but very diamond-shaped and pointy. Next, we have Altea Quillan III. This is the mother of Nell's crush, Naivara Quillan III. She is an elven woman who is the wife of the deceased diarch, Arturos. And finally, a red-haired human gentleman named Hillip Rowe. This is the guy I've been looking to talk to. Hillip is the former Reeve of Balesville, and due to what happened at the warehouse, canceled the meeting that Gideon had slotted in to sort of see how the trial went. I'm going to skip over this trial. Basically, we convinced them we were cool. They recognized us. They've heard our name before. They've heard a little bit of our exploits, which is cool. That means that the news of us is getting around, which is really exciting and a little worrying. And before I jump to the next thing, let me just say, Denny absolutely knocked it out of the park, making each of these NPCs sound and feel distinct. Kudos to Denny. After the trial, as I said, we met up with Shandier Tarset and Charity Cozybug. Shandier Tarset tells us that an airship has been funded and prepared should we want to take the trip over to New Fugleby to sort of save us some travel time, because we got a long way to go, because we're trying to make our way towards the Ringzar Peaks, which are very far to the east of where we are currently. So getting an airship to New Fugleby, that'll save us a bunch of time. However, there's always a however. This airship comes at a bit of a price, in that we're going to have to look into the whereabouts of a missing didact of the Arcanet Institute called Cadway Fine Whistle. So we'll see how long it takes to find what happened to them, but we have a ship ready for us to leave in the next couple days. So, and with that, our next quest is laid out before us. Before Tarset leaves, Azaria makes sure to tell them to keep their eyes out on our boy, Tyrone, our big turtle friend who works at the Wanderlust Inn, because Tyrone, he's just a great guy. We love Tyrone. We stand Tyrone, okay? Anyways, with the trial, there were plenty of minor details. It was mostly about the learned and sort of seeing how different they were and where their stances can differ on certain topics. It was really, really interesting and really fun. So, damn, Denny, you killed it, bro. Some time passes, and Elwyn reaches out to friend of the party, Cap Calhoun, the character who was played by Jesse Beam in episodes 25 to 27. We inform him that Charity is coming his way to go investigate the Druid Enclave and talk with the Druids and see what's going on. Even though Jesse wasn't there to play his character, Denny did a great job. Cap is such a wonderful character. Jesse did such a marvelous job crafting it. And even with Denny at the helm, like it's clear that this is such a fun character. It was wonderful to hear from him again. After that, Elwyn decides that she's going to meet with her nephew and she wants the party to join her. This is a huge character moment. God, this game rocks. Then some shenanigans ensued where Nell bought some sheet music and I believe a musical instrument for her crush Naivara from a very enthusiastic Argonfolk music store owner. God, say that a few times fast. Then everybody but Abe and Gideon went shopping for crop tops, of all things. Grobo even stole one for himself. Gotta keep an eye on that little guy. We have no idea what else he's capable of. But anyways, to jump back to Abe and Gideon, they get talking while they're on their little walk. They end up having a little bit of a debate about what transpired in the warehouse and what Gideon did and what Abe did. And it's made pretty clear that Abe is not pleased with Gideon. And, well, Gideon isn't really pleased with himself. So, booyah, double whammy, right? Gideon wanted to know if there was anything Malden related going on with Abe. After our little chat, we've determined that that is not the case. This was a very fun but hard-hitting conversation, which was then, of course, turned around on Gideon when Abe asked about why he shot his blunderbuss. So these two basically just got everything out in the open and put it on the table, although Adam has said since then that there are other things that Abe would like to say to Gideon, to which I'm like, uh-oh. So this conversation will continue again at a later point. Anyway, so we all reconvene and head to Elwyn's meeting with her nephew Valoon, and the session comes to an end. So, next session is going to be very interesting right off the bat. We've got a very hard-hitting character moment for Elwyn right out of the gate. You gotta check this out, man. We stream live every other Sunday on the Dicely D&D Twitch channel, and our next stream is August 14th. Come hang out with us. Alrighty, that is all I have for you this week, friendos. I hope you are staying happy, healthy, and kind, and remembering to always play Dicely. That's it.